welcome back. This week, I'm going to hit you with a freebie. If you remember from season 1, I did a video about the Gentlemen, now known as the G-Men, the a cappella group that I was with in college. And back in March, we had a 20th anniversary kind of reunion weekend for this group. There were alumni there from all different eras of the group. And at our banquet, groups of alumni from different eras got together and did arrangements of songs that they had sung kind of back in their time in the group, and we had a lot of fun with this. So if you remember from the season 1 video, the era that I was in, what they called sort of the founding era, the first guys from the first couple of years of the group. We did 2 songs. One of them was Long Train Running, originally recorded by the Doobie Brothers, and the second one was Down on the Corner, the classic tune, which was actually headed up by the group's founder, Will Friedman. So the first song, Long Train Running, we had to sort of rebuild that arrangement. We had to kind of recover it from some scattered notes that we had and some things that different members of the group remembered. And in order to kind of get that together, I did a rough cut, just a real quick and very dirty garage band arrangement where I sang all of the parts of the song to then hand off to the group so that they could take a listen to it before we got together. Then when we got together, we literally had like an hour and a half in a hotel room, a couple of hours before the banquet, to figure out the parts, get everybody together, and run through it a bunch of times. And all told, it came together pretty well. We some of us hadn't sang in many years, a bunch of us had our voices kind of blown out because we had been to the festivities the night before and spent a lot of time singing and yelling over noise and talking loud all night. And some of us could hardly speak in the morning, let alone sing. Fortunately, at the banquet, someone who was sitting pretty close to the front had a pretty good camera or an iPhone or a device of some kind where they managed to catch these 2 songs as we performed them. So the quality is actually pretty good. The sound volume fluctuates a little bit just because of the kind of sound in the room. It's just a live cut. We weren't using any microphones or anything like that. So. But it does capture pretty much how the 2 arrangements came out. So this week's freebie is I want to share that link with you. I want to let you hear how the first song, Long Train Running, was the one I worked on, and you can kind of hear how that turned out. Now, for my insiders, I'm going to let you hear, for better or worse, the quick and dirty arrangement that I cut myself, that rough recording that I used to help the group learn the tune. And again, I mean, I'm lowering my standards here. This recording is pretty rough. I basically ran through each part like once. I'm not a sky tenor. The high parts are going to be really pitchy, but again, in the spirit of being an insider, I want to show you how A led to B. Right? We put this arrangement back together from notes. I recorded this rough, and then you kind of get to hear what the final product was in the video that everybody's going to hear. So you insiders are going to get a view into that. So I'm going to hit you with an insider's freebie to go with this freebie. And just to kind of kick things off some more, I'm going to hit the insiders with another freebie this week. I have a list. This is not a video or an audio. This is going to be a file. I have a list that is my personal list of all the songs that I consider sort of done and completed that were associated with North or my solo work. And that list shows not only the rough year that they were finished, but also which ones have been recorded and which ones haven't. So in the coming months, I want to get back on track with getting a lot of insiders releases out, and a lot of them are going to be old material. I want to get out all those North songs that were written or maybe performed live that were never recorded to a CD or released to the public in any way. I want to get to some of the songs that were recorded kind of post Drowning in Sky in the last few years that were, written but never recorded. So I think the first key to doing that, those are going to be our insiders releases in the months to come. And I think the first key to talking about those is having this list that I can share with you to kind of say, okay, here's my checklist, right? Here's my hit list of things that I want to get released in the coming months. So for you insiders, you're going to get the double freebie this week. And it's partially my way of saying thank you for your support, especially through the long break from season 1. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Insiders releases are for folks who support the project on Patreon. It can be really, really cheap. For as little as 25 cents a release, I do 10 to 15 releases a year is my goal. So you're talking about, $2, $3, $4 a year. You can have access to these rough cuts, these kind of behind the scenes looks of new material coming together, old material that's being put out there. So at the end of the video, if you're interested, follow the link to the Patreon campaign. You'll see that there, and watch the video that's there at the Patreon campaign. It'll kind of explain the whole system about what Insiders releases are, what they're for. So anyway, looking forward to getting those out to you and getting some feedback on them. And I guess that's it. Thanks kindly, and talk to you next week. Okay, so this week's music link is kind of a no-brainer. A few weeks after the G-Men 20th anniversary concert back in March, the current G-Men of the time got to go to ICCA Finals in New York City. This is ICCA's international competition for the best a cappella groups in the United States and in the UK. Groups from each region came and represented all the winners from the regional competitions. And the G-Men, who had won the Great Lakes region, came to represent their region. And they put on a performance that was just outside the box. They broke all convention, and they got up there and they just blew people away. One of the other members of the a cappella groups in the Sing It On documentary that was done actually called it like this alien Martian performance of some kind. It was really just totally blew people away. I had the fortune of being able to be there with Will Friedman, the group's founder and good friend of mine, and we got to go to experience that and see it live, and it was chilling. It was really cool. So the group got best arrangement. Marty Gray, who arranged their performance there. Lawrence Young and Brett Burian got best vocal percussion out of all the groups that performed as well for the performance. And to top it all off, the G-Men took 3rd place overall in the competition. So they walked out with those awards, and it was just amazingly humbling and just so awesome to see the group getting that kind of recognition for their work. Their performance is on YouTube. The video, this is shot from the audience, right? I don't even know who took it, but it was, the video is a little bit blurry, but the sound's pretty good, and you can get a sense of what the performance was and just how different it was and how brilliantly they executed it. And you can hear some of that great vocal percussion and sound effects from Brett and Lawrence, and you'll appreciate, I think, the arrangement and how unique and different and also tricky and intricate it was. So you can hear Marty's work there as well. So hope you enjoy the link. This is the G-Men, the University of Michigan G-Men, performing at ICCA Finals this past April.